something.
Something.
All right. Something. Okay. Hope that's balanced. Either way, you have to turn the audio up.
Okay.
If we're ready, you can go ahead and intro us.
Okay. So, welcome to Social Media Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
It is a show that we do sometimes
Yeah.
about, crazy things we see.
Technology permitting.
Technology permitting. Social media and regular media. Just, crazy stuff.
Yes.
Lots of mayhem.
So today we're talking about four things. Talking about this backlash, although small, though depending on where you are, is quite loud to the game Kingdom Come Deliverance. We're talking about violence in video games again, because that's an evergreen topic, I feel. And we're talking about a school shooting, talking about that Florida school shooting that happened recently, because we weren't able to talk about it last week. And you can expect a kind of different slant on all these topics and questions, because at least me, I feel like I see these things a little bit differently, a lot differently than most people, and you're just a sensible person. So, and we're going to close everything off with a big question.
No small questions, big.
No, everything we hitting heavy all the time. There's no time for small talk, no time for light content, no time for memes. Get that shit out of here. We're talking about heavy stuff. And the question is, do interactions on social media, do they have less meaning and carry less weight than normal human interactions? Because I feel like the way we're going, we're having more social media interactions than actual human ones. So could that be a replacement for actual face-to-face or phone-to-phone or Skype-to-Skype interactions? I don't know. Well, I do know, but I'm going to talk about it later. Anyways, we're going to start off talking with Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's a video game that came out in the past 10 days, I believe. It's on the PS4.
Yep.
It's on the Xbox One. It's on PC. And it's a game about 1400s Eastern Europe, particularly, I think it was Bulgaria, set in Bulgaria. It's supposed to be, the thing that they're touting is it's supposed to be historically accurate, and it's supposed to be a pretty realistic game. So that's basically all you need to know about the game itself. It's just really supposed to be...
it's historically accurate Skyrim, basically.
Yeah.
It plays like Skyrim. It looks...
Yeah, it's pretty much that. It was developed by a development company called Deep Silver. So if you want to deep into their history, you certainly do that. But I never heard of them before this game. But when the game came out, most mainstream media outlets were like, it's a nice idea. It has some really bad glitches and stuff, and but they're constantly trying to work through them, trying to make it a decent game. But where the social media mayhem comes into play is like the small reaction that I've heard and seen, talking about representation of particularly black people in this game, the lack thereof, and the lack of other groups. And this is just so stupid, because if you make any sense about this, historically accurate 1403 Bulgaria, Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
What type of people, what skin tone, let's just guess.
Dozens of shades of white.
Yes. There'll be a bunch of youths walking around with probably black hair, though, and brown eyes. They're not looking like me. They're looking like kind of like him. So my problem is not so much. I mean, there's always people that react really bad to situations, right? That just, we all know that now, since Twitter's a thing, that people just say whatever the fuck they feel, and don't really think twice about anything they say. And sometimes I feel like I do that to a fault, because I end up not posting anything on Twitter. But
yeah, you haven't posted.
I posted one time this week. I got the gold symbol in the battle tower. No one cares about that. But I just felt like the reaction to the reaction was curious, because when you're talking about movies, I feel like a lot of people talk about representation in movies and all media for gay people, black people, gay black people, all types of stuff. But I was listening to a podcast that I love from people that I love called Funhouse, the podcast of Dude Soup. You heard this, right?
Yeah.
And their last podcast, I don't want to make this completely about them, but I just noticed this. It's not so much about the game. Just the reaction from like I feel like some white people are just so guilty that they're going the complete other direction of what these other people on Twitter are saying. Twitter is saying that that this game that's based in 1403, white as hell, Bohemia, that's what it is, not Bulgaria, whatever, it doesn't matter. That these need black people, we need Africans in this abjectly white place. And then the guilty white people say that we need to have, it doesn't matter if you're trying to be historically accurate. The one person said, video games can't even be accurate to history. Like, why even try? You know why? He said, it's already not historically accurate because you press A to jump. But that's like saying a book can't be historically accurate because you have to turn a page. A movie can't be historically accurate because it's confined by 24 frames per second. Anything can't be, like, you never know. Like, based on that logic, nothing can be historically accurate unless your hands-on account. Like,
the only thing that's historically accurate is what you're physically doing at the moment, like your existence.
Yeah.
Someone from Dude Soup said.
Yes.
But they're the video game guys. Right?
Yeah, it's completely flipped on what they're already established, and I found it really odd that they would do that, because they're always talking about, yeah, video games should be treated like any other art, and yeah, you get a lot of time for very little money, so it's kind of come off like a cheap medium, but still they see like there's worth here and there's potential here, and they completely reverse that when it comes to racial issues, and I find that very bad.
That's ridiculous.
That was offensive to me as a gamer and as a black man, because the second part of this, the more important part to most viewers probably, is that as a brown person, I don't want to be pandered to. I don't want inclusion in something just to say, oh, there's a guy that's just like me, even though he's nothing like me. It's probably a stereotype, because historically they have been stereotypes. I see this in wrestling. The last time we had like a really great black tag team, they're called Crime Time, and I'll leave it at that.
Awesome Truth. What? R-Truth is a legend.
Oh, I mean, completely about before the New Day, obviously, if you're into wrestling,
they're still kind of a stereotype.
Yeah.
The dancing kind of.
Yeah, shucking and jiving.
Yeah.
Negro. But I just found, like, I just want to shed some light on that line of thought that we need to, like, force inclusion in things. I just want to see the creator's vision.
Yeah.
If a person making a Fast and Furious movie, it's like, well, that's not accurate. Cause
no cars.
Oh, that'd be stupid, though. That'd be stupid. Like, if you're making, like, Grand Theft Auto, that's what I thought of. You're making Los Santos. It would be stupid not to have black people in it. Yeah. Because a large number of black people live in Los Angeles. But if you're making a movie, if you're making something that doesn't require race to be important to the narrative or story or the building of that world, I don't see why you just need to shoehorn gay people, for example.
You don't need to have any of these things aren't needs necessarily.
Yeah, just as a creator, it's like, not myself. I don't create movies or anything, but if you're like becoming a person who wants to make movies or television shows, you have to be like wary of like the backlash, but I think you should err on the side like, I'm gonna do what I want.
I don't know about that. I mean, this is obviously a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
It could become a much bigger scale. I don't know. But I'm creating this Dungeons and Dragons world for us to play in.
Yeah.
I don't have any like gay NPCs. I haven't thought about any of that. The NPCs that I've thought of, I haven't decided, oh, this guy's black. This guy, like, I've decided their basic race, not skin color or anything like that. I haven't decided their sexuality. I haven't focused on that. In Lord of the Rings, there weren't any black people, but that's because it was based off of, like, 14th century Europe, like Kingdom Come Deliverance. There weren't really any black people.
Technically 15th century,
well, yeah,
1400.
Yeah. Sorry.
Gets me every time, too. But still, point still stands, though. No, go ahead.
If you want black people in those games, we can just start the slave trade early. I mean, how?
That's what I guess it would.
If they were to maintain the historical accuracy, but then you wanted representation, I don't think you would like how they got that representation in there.
Turns out history hasn't been too kind to black people outside of Africa.
Yeah.
So
do you want them to not show black people, or do you want them to show how black people were realistically very poorly treated?
I think most people, most sensible people, I mean, they probably don't even think about this at all. But
Probably.
if they do think of it, they're like, I just want people to show like how black people actually were. I want to learn more about like how my ancestors were. And there's few people, you know, that are saying just like I pointed out that I just want black people to look powerful and I want black people to be and stuff. Just, you know, to stroke my ego or whatever. It's stupid, but I just feel like that line of thought completely insulted me. Not just the video games part, but I don't want to be pandered to as a black person, because I don't know. Affirmative action is nice sometimes, but not in media, not in something that's so elective and so like it's not major to your life. But if you let it influence you, it's very important actually.
Right.
And we shouldn't have governors like that. They're dictating what we see. We should just let the creator's vision go ahead. And the creator's racist, will eventually he'll be phased out of the movie society or whatever he's in. But anyways, that's enough about that, I guess. Next thing you want to talk about?
So we've got, this kind of ties into the school shooting in Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High, I want to say.
I don't know the name of the high school.
I've only ever heard people refer to it as the Florida shooting, so blame my ignorance on me. But it's more people trying to argue that video games cause these school shootings, these mass killings in general.
Remember, no Russian, no Floridian.
This one particular guy, destroy your first-person shooter games and gaming consoles. They are not games. They are military simulations designed to teach people to use weapons and kill. Sir. Surgeon Simulator 2016 does not teach me to be a surgeon. Madden 18 does not teach me to be an NFL coach.
It kind of does, though. But go on.
Not well.
Okay.
Forza does not teach me how to be a race car driver.
Yeah.
What was this other game? He brings up GTA 6. He's got the cover art for GTA 6 that hasn't been announced, doesn't exist.
It's not come out for like probably 6 years.
And it's like, the problem is not the video game. The problem is there are a lot of people that don't raise their children at all. They just throw them in front of a video game. It's like, oh, they're playing, it's fine. It's inattentive parenting. It's terrible. It's just a general terrible environment, whether it's bullying at school, isolation that's not like malicious, but just you just don't deal with people, or what's the other thing I'm trying to think of? But I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it comes
There
down,
are a lot of problems.
like every frustration a kid or teenager that any human has could be related back to shooting up a school. Like the gun just allows, it's a tool that allows that person to do whatever. Like, I'm gonna cite my mother here. She's like a book of information. Our information isn't always accurate, but
I mean, doesn't every book have information?
cut that out. Anyway, she's like a very, very, she's full of information basically. She's telling me that back in the day when they didn't have guns, or the guns wasn't very, like, you weren't able to get them very easily, people would solve their mental issues a lot of time by killing themselves instead of killing other people. Things that, like, when they turn to violence is usually killing themselves. But now, since, like, the reason for, I'm not gonna speak for all school shooters out there, I don't want to misrepresent y'all, but I see a lot of y'all would be like isolated, bullied, like you said, and just grow up in an environment that's just pushing them down in their eyes. And if you have a gun, why would I kill myself if I can kill the problem? So that's how I feel about it. It's not so much the gun itself, like what I want to, do I want guns, like, do I want the Second Amendment to be restricted somewhat? Yeah, I do. Well, I kind of already wanted that. But I don't feel like this should necessarily change the morals of America, because this is built, I mean, it's the Second Amendment now. It's been here for hundreds of years. I don't think we should change like our morals when it comes to this stuff. We should, like, tweak here, tweak there, and keep consistent when it comes to school shooting. But back to the video games thing that you want to talk about.
I don't know. That was most of my argument. Was that, like, it's not the video games. This is an argument I had with my father this past week. The science has shown frequently for the past 30 years, because that's about how long video games have been around. Almost 40 now.
Yeah, in some form or fashion.
Yeah, in some form. They've been studying this for as long as it's been around. There are going to be studies that show it does have a correlation, because if every thing that could be studied will have at least one study that shows every side of the issue.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to be like, hey, I'll pay you X amount of money, or I'll give you this contract if you fudge the numbers to prove our point. But most of the science agrees that there is no causation. There might be a correlation, but there's certainly no causation between video games and real world violence.
There is a correlation between, like, America, violence has gone down as video games has rose, but even those two things aren't linked. I remember in junior year biology class, my teacher, shout out to Mr. Moorhead, he taught me many things about life.
Oh, you had Moorhead? Cool.
He showed me he showed the whole class a website about correlation. Like, these things have a 1-to-1 exact correlation. The things are, like, exactly the same and are related, not at all. Have no causation with each other, don't affect each other anyway. It is mere coincidence. And most of the time when correlations like that happen, it's like a lot of time they're not related at all. So again, correlational studies are very
Yeah, correlation is not causation.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it boiled down to. You just can't say it correlates with this and correlate with that.
I mean, if you want to look into it, world wars have gone down as agricultural improvements have gone up.
Yeah.
We've been able to harvest more corn in this past year than we did in all of 1930, probably. Not in this past year, yeah, past decade. You get my point.
Yeah.
So as we harvest more corn, world wars go down. So,
of course, obviously we know there's extenuating circumstances to almost every situation. But have video games made me more violent?
No.
Not at all.
He would have beaten me to death if that were true. I get on his nerves.
Anyways, we're going to move on to the third topic.
It's a mistake.
Do you want to handle the question or the thing that you had?
What thing that I had?
I forget. We didn't talk about something. I forget.
We were talking about Florida.
Yeah, we talked about Florida. We talked about. Oh yeah, this is the last thing. Okay,
because Florida's the last thing. Were we gonna talk more?
No, a question. Yeah, a question.
Okay,
that's the
so
fourth
the
thing.
question.
That's the question.
Right. Sorry, the question.
All right. Use that cutting out tool, I guess. Come on.
Yeah, I'll cut it out.
So time for the question. Big, sexy, hard-hitting, clickbaity question.
Oh, it's hard.
It's throbbing.
It's
damn hard. Is social media interactions a meaningful human interaction and a meaningful replacement to traditional human interactions? Sam?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not for me. Because I'm home alone most days. Pretty much every day except Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I talk with people, through texting, Facebook messaging, and Instagram and stuff. I still don't feel like I'm getting what I need. I still feel like there's more I could be getting out of it. Now, my friends don't think I'm looking for the right things. A lot of them are like, you're just overblowing it. It's like, no, I need, human interaction. I need people.
Wait, they say you're not looking for the right things? What do they mean?
They're like, I don't know. Sometimes they say I'm like overblowing the issue.
Okay.
But it's like, it's not that social media interactions aren't good. It's not like those are meaningless, but it's not a perfect replacement.
Mm-hmm. I would just, this was kind of inspired. I'm inspired by a lot of things, but there was like, you ever heard of the show Black Mirror last year?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch it, but I know about it, and I just found like the ideas that it tackles very, very interesting, because we're depending more and more on phones, more and more on technology, and we're saying a lot more on social media as a way to connect with people. But I just feel like, at least from my perspective, they're not meaningful connections. I mean, at first, you do feel the warm fuzzy when someone sends you a friend request on Facebook. Like, oh, people like me. It's like, nah. People just probably press the button to make their friend number go up. I don't know. But even still, like texting was a big thing with me. I text, all the time. I'm texting hot dudes, hot chicks, mom.
Well, I mean, when your phone works.
Yeah, my phone works. Cat chew through my wire. It's like, that's fucking dickhead cat. It just makes you think, why do you even have animals in this fucking house? Because it eats all my food. It ate more of my freaking chicken this week than I ate the chicken. It chewed through 2 of my freaking chargers. My 3DS was blinking red, about to die, like in 10 minutes. And I grabbed it, it's chewed up like in 10 different ways. And then my phone was dead. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna charge it. No, it's bit up too. Bullshit. I don't support, not child abuse, animal abuse, but came very close to the snapping that neck. Anyways, I want to do like the scene. I thought about like the scene from Godfather with the horse's head.
But with your cat.
With the cat's head inside my sister's bed.
That would be terrible.
That'd be terrible. I don't want that. I don't want to see her sad. I want to see that cat dead. Anyway, what I was talking about? Texting.
Yeah, texting.
Texting all these hot chicks, all these hot chicks, all these hot dudes, and I'm like, I really can't. And my mom and my dad, and I just like I don't like texting. I'm very apprehensive to sending a text because this person can't feel what I'm saying. Words can only carry you so far, but you have to feel what the person's saying, like truly where they're coming from, what they mean. That's not to say you don't need more details, but I think that's a very important part. That's why, like another reason why I don't tweet, because I might say something, like I might try to say a joke, and people won't get it because they can't feel what I'm saying, or if it's sarcastic, you can't read sarcasm. In context, you can, but when you're limited, but the characters in Twitter, you can't really.
Yeah, context and intonation.
Yeah, it's like another morning when I wake up with pubes in my mouth. I mean, maybe that speaks for itself as a joke, but I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe it was a reality. I don't know. Wild days.
Oh boy.
I just feel like I can't connect, and like I don't want to see people more and more rely on this, because I want to meet people in person. Like I text people, could we talk in person? I did that a lot in last year of high school. Could we talk in person? Like, oh, why?
Did it work?
I mean, it kind of worked, but they're really weird about it. Like they don't want to talk to you in person because it's kind of like an inconvenience, and they feel that's unnecessary. But I feel like it's totally necessary to completely get over your point. And I cherish human interaction, especially the past year, the way things have gone. Similar situation to you. I cherish every human interaction as another chance to connect, either emotionally, mentally, sexually, all types of ways. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of different when you're doing video chat like FaceTime or Skype. I feel like that's good enough. But Twitter,
that's a good halfway.
That's good. Like that's all you have.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like being right next to somebody, touch them on the shoulder, and say, "Hey,
just the shoulder.
I appreciate you as a human being." It's nothing like it. Maybe you
Can't say the same.
Maybe you go down, you go chest, just tell me inner thigh, and you don't know where it goes. That's what friendship's about.
But only if she's white.
White. That's the problem I have. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark only likes white chicks.
Anyways, is that it for this week?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, pretty much.
Well, I mean, for this episode.
We
got other shows.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So, if you enjoyed this, share it all over your social media. It's not a meaningful interaction, but if they watch this, they might be able to feel what we're trying to say. And
then you can have a meaningful interaction in person.
Yes. Yeah, maybe if we get popular enough, we can be like at
VidCon.
No. MacFest, RTX, one of those, the good ones.
We'll just like rent out. We'll just like go to City Park or something.
Yeah, we go to City Park. We'll, maybe.
It's free.
It's free. We might go on like one of the $5 roller coasters. You ever been on that?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, for like a child.
I was like 16. It was still pretty cool.
Okay, I haven't been in a decade.
Anyways, we're done. See you later.
Bye. Bye. かわいいです。お姉ちゃん。